Plug your ears in, man. You know who it is. Storm Hunters.
Do you have the green?
Do you have the grind?
Daryl,
Another week, Shawn.
another week. Got a quick announcement before we jump into it.
All right.
Because we got a lot to cover today.
Well, got a lot going
a
on.
lot of football.
Yes.
Playoff push going. JFL Rocky Mount, I want to formally apologize to both schools because we supposed to be in there this week.
Yeah, we supposed to be in Rocky Mount.
I had some conflict schedule where I couldn't do it, but I said I couldn't make it to Rocky Mount because I had to be somewhere at a different time frame, traveling training. Couldn't make the JFL, traveling training,
Yep.
got to be somewhere today.
Well,
but I know, we always can go.
I'm going to stop it right there.
Go ahead, pause.
Because somebody was at some game last night,
Uh-oh.
was up there with the big dogs, game day and everything. And that's why we can't be where we supposed to because I don't know who it is.
I'll hang with game day.
You are there hanging with game day and everything.
Quick recap of that, then we gonna jump to the show. First time game day come to North Carolina, couldn't miss. Well, they been in North Carolina for the North Carolina South Carolina
Yep.
game in Charlotte this year. First time they actually been to football game day has been to a North Carolina school, I think they were saying in
Yep.
history. So I wanted to go yesterday, hung out, had a great time, man. Got a chance to meet Kurt Herbstreit.
Yep.
Corso, Desmond, Pat McAfee, just had, a bunch of the guys, a lot of producers for ESPN met them. Just got a chance to talk to guys and learn them, man. I had a ball. That was a conflict schedule, but
Conflict schedule, but
one
hey.
thing about it, Southern Asia, right down the street.
Right down the street.
It
made happen.
always will to let us record.
Yeah,
So
we
thank
wanna-
you, Southern
Yeah,
Asia.
thank you, Southern Ash, for letting us record.
Last minute finding out and just making it work. So thank
Making
you,
it work.
staff.
So
But
thank you.
JF Weber, Rocky Mount,
We coming
we still got your penciled in.
on the schedule.
We'll be letting you know. We'll be sending details out there after let the staff let them know when we're coming. Well, Daryl, we got a lot to talk about this
Oh
week.
yeah, so much going on from last week's show. Friday night games.
Some great games last
Great
week.
games. And Shawn, let's go ahead and start recapping some of those games we talked about from last week.
Daryl, you want to go first? You want me to take it?
You can go first. Go first.
Well, I got to go first. Then I'm going to go straight to the inaugural.
Uh-oh.
When you inaugural, that means the first time.
The first time. That's what it means.
Grit and grind. Franklin County.
Whoa, wait. Hold up.
Franklin County.
Franklin County. Okay.
County champions goes to the Franklinton Rams. Ram Nation, stand up. You know what to do. Franklinton has become the inaugural Grit and Grind Franklin County champions of their county by beating all the teams of their county. And if you're born in Lewisburg, you want to say now,
Yeah.
you got the inaugural one.
Yeah.
We coming.
We coming.
Wildcats Bun, so they coming.
That's what they say.
Warriors of Lewisburg,
They
we coming. Because we want that title to be able to host up and say we won our county championship from the Grit and Grind. But to make a long story short, Franklin County beat Lewisburg in a non-conference game this season. Played their rival Bun last Friday night. Big game. I mean, both teams came in 3-4, 2-1. Their rival Buns beat them 31-9. And this Bun team came wanting to play.
Yeah.
And they came and played their best game. It just was not as good as what Franklinton played. But if you're Franklinton, hats off to A.D. Hemphill, the quarterback, Elijah James, Walter Royster, Tremaine Day. Those guys were the difference makers in this game to be able to win a good game at home for your hometown crowd, for your fans, win a big rivalry game,
Yeah.
and improve your record that now you're 2-1 in conference play.
Yeah.
2-1 in conference play, you know what that means, Daryl? You're going from sitting on the bumper to now teams, the selection
There you
committee,
go.
they're
That's
starting
what
to,
you-
hey, you know what
and
they're starting to do,
that's what
don't
you
you?
talked about
They're starting to
last
look
week.
at you.
They started to look at you, and you was talking about that last show.
So Franklinton was able to win, good win for them, good rivalry win, and be able to become the inaugural Franklin County Grit and Grind champions. And can I say it, Daryl?
Go ahead and say it.
Franklinton, we got something for you. It's coming.
It's coming.
We'll be delivering it sooner or later, but you'll get it for the end of the season. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
we
for
can
the
make that
end,
happen.
we can make it happen, definitely.
If there's not no delays on the production end of it,
Yeah.
but we can make it happen.
Make it happen.
Well, Daryl, tell me about your recap game.
All right, so my recap game is going to be Nash Central playing Rocky Mount. And this game, I'm going to call it missed opportunities.
That's what it was.
Rocky Mount missed opportunities. This game was close in the first half.
Rocky
It was
Mount
10-7, and Rocky Mount was actually up in that game.
And they was in it.
And it started with the special teams that we talked about last week.
We said that was
Silvers ran the ball back, got the ball close late in the second quarter to where Rocky Mount was in scoring range. I think it was on the 13-yard line of Nash Central. And that Nash Central defense just held them to where they couldn't score. And then in the second half, Harris and Rogers just showed up.
That's still.
And took care of business and wound up winning 28-10. And so, again, Rocky Mount was in this game.
They win the
and
game.
That's what we talked about, that this was going to be a tough game for both teams. And to be up 10-7 going in at halftime, if you Rocky Mount, you felt good about what was going on.
Because you're up on a good Nash Central team.
Yeah, on a good National Central team. And if you're Nash Central, you was able to come back and say, okay, let's make those halftime adjustments like that other team down the road does all the time.
That's the key to the game.
That was the biggest key for me in this game, was that Nash Central was able to make some halftime adjustments and come out with a win. So, Shawn, let's go ahead and get started with the show.
Well, Jared, before we get started, people want to know, we always do it. They want to know about who was the grit and grind player this week. So, as always, Daryl, who was that grit player on the defensive side of the ball this week?
All right, Shawn, so my grit player, again, I looked around. I went here and I went there.
You went all around?
I went all around. I'm looking for that grit player, because to be that grit player, you got to show that intensity to make that tackle, that you want to be in the mix of the play.
The extra effort.
The extra effort.
That's right.
You want contact.
you ain't running from it. You looking for it.
You ain't running.
You looking for it.
You're looking for contact.
That's it.
And Shawn, so this week's grit player, I got to go back to Hunt again.
Uh-oh. The Warriors, Coach Ward.
Hinton, number 28, senior middle linebacker. He is second in the conference, only behind B. Lofton, who was the
grit player of the week
a couple weeks ago. Mason right now has a total of 67 tackles, has 38 solo tackles. And against Southern Wayne, he had 10 solo tackles and a total of 18 tackles in that game.
Oh, he was all over the field.
He was all over the field. So everywhere you saw number 28, he was making a play.
From hash mark, sideline to sideline.
Yeah. And, like I was saying, he was looking for contact. That's what you want.
That's what you want for the grit player
of the week.
For contact.
And he was able to, in that game, was able to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mason Hinton out of Hunt, North Carolina, Wilson, North Carolina, with the Hunt Warriors, is the grit player of the week. And Shawn, who's that grind player of the week?
I'm like you, Daryl. I went and looked all around for the grind player. Who could take this award? The grind player is all about moving chains, keeping your offense on the field, scoring touchdowns, and wearing that defense out that you stay on the field so your defense can get breaks and good rest. Well, this player right here, Daryl, I got to say it. And I don't say this, I never said this before ever on the grit and grind, so this is a first.
Okay.
Get your smartphones, cameras, TVs, hit record right now, because this may never be said again. This young man may be the grind player, not of the week, not of the month, of the year.
What?
The grind player of the year out of Vance County, the 7-0, 3-0, the junior quarterback, Javon Vines Holder. I hope I'm saying that first name right. Javion, either Javon Vines Holder, broke a school record last Friday night and tied the state record for touchdown passes in the game. He threw 10 touchdown passes in the game.
Hold up. Wait, you said 10.
10.
In one game?
In one game.
Are you sure?
The
number's right.
I had to go check. I checked everything before I brought this out here.
10 touchdowns in one game.
They won 94-18. I didn't even know a scoreboard could go that high in a football game. I mean, I got a question for Vance County. I want to see if you can make it go to 100. I've never seen this done. He has tied the state record for most touchdowns thrown in a game, 10. Broke the Vance County high school record, which I don't even know what it was, but it's been shattered, and I don't think it'll never. I don't think this record will be broke. He may be history for the next 100 years for this.
It may be.
But he's tied it. NC record, broke a Vance County record. I mean, and the bad thing, and the one thing I found about this, Daryl, guess what?
What's that?
This is his first year ever playing quarterback.
Okay.
Can I say it again?
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just be quiet, because
It's
10 touchdowns. I'm thinking, okay, this kid's been playing
from Pee Wee on.
Pee Wee on up.
I was told this is his first year playing quarterback. So I don't know. He must have been an outstanding running back or linebacker in Pee Wee. Must have been outstanding free safety, running back, linebacker, cornerback in middle school. Same thing in JV team. And now they say, hey, we need a quarterback. He must just picked up the football that day and threw, and the coach said, let's go for it.
Let's go.
Well, he is now in a category all by himself.
Well, you know what that means for the grit and grind.
We got to go to Vance
We got to
County.
go to Vance County.
Vance County Vipers, we're coming.
We coming. We coming.
With that being said, Daryl, let's go ahead and jump over to our games of the week. And as always, welcome back our favorite segment, the Smoky Mountain Western North Carolina game of the week, right here on the Grit and Grind. Daryl, we got two teams playing.
Yeah.
And you got a 7-0 West Henderson Falcons hosting the 6-0. And I'm trying to say this name right. I'm not from this area, so if I mess it up, please forgive me now, Western North Carolina and people in this county. Pixon Bears, who are 6-0, 2-0. And I got a little history on both these teams before we jump in it.
Okay.
If you're not new to this area, because I was not new to this area, I've never been to Hendersonville. I've been to Asheville, Montreat, Black Mountain, all that area, Kings Mountain, but I've never been this way. West Henderson is in Henderson County. That neighbors Radford County, Polk County, Jackson County, and Transylvania County. And Pigswick High School is in Haywood County. A 45-minute bus ride between both schools. I mapped today how long it would take for them to get there. I got the road team, Daryl, so I'm going to go first.
All right.
6-0 Pigswick Bears. I mean, I look at this team. They got wins over Brevard, 24-10, they're 4-2. Anika, 56-3, they're 2-4. Hampton, Tennessee, 5-2. Haynesville, 32-7, they won, they're 4-2. Smoky Mountain High, they're 2-5, they won 16-7. That could have been a trap game right there.
Yeah, that's what.
Because, that Smoky Mountain team probably came in saying, we always say, playing with house money.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's leave it on the field. That's why we turned the lights on Friday night. 2-4 Franklin, they beat them 35-0. Coming up, they got 2-4 Tulsa, 0-6 East Henderson, 4-2 North Henderson. Right now, they're ranked number 6 in the 828 area zip code in the NC polls, and they're ranked number 3 in the North Carolina 3A max prep polls.
Okay.
I mean, this team comes in, they got good depth. They didn't have that much stats on them, but I watched some of their highlights from the past couple games, and I couldn't get these guys' numbers. But if you live in this area and you've been following, you know who they are. They got a quarterback, and they got a wide receiver on that left side. They're hooking up.
Yeah.
I mean, they hooking up, making some good phone calls and dialing it up for deep passes in the last game. Their defense secondary is quick. They ran in the backfield to get to the running back several times with that linebacker core. Their defensive linebacker that would cover the middle field, he got an interception last week at the goal line to stop a team from scoring. Their defensive back got a deep pass thrown. He was able to get in front of the wide receiver from the other team and get an interception. So this team right here is a good team. But even from what I know, take away the defense, take away the quarterback, the running back, the quarterback and wide receiver dialing up for long distance plays. This team had one thing that we talked about with a team that played right here at Southern National. Now, I hate to keep going back to that team, but we talked about that team, that Southern Alamance team.
Yeah.
What do we say about that Southern Alamance team? They had a good what?
Oh, offensive line. That
This-
line was huge.
This Pigswick Bears, if I said the name wrong, forgive me. I watched their offensive line. And the reason why that quarterback can dial up to that wide receiver on the left or right hand side is because he's got time all day. They are holding defensive lines from getting in that backfield. And that's what you want when you got a pocket pass throwing quarterback.
Yeah.
You want to give him time for the wide receiver to get open and make the right pass, or either block it, open up them holes, so your running backs can have those 25, 35 yards rushing in touchdown or 10-yard gains for first down. So this is a good team. They're playing a good team, and they're going to this team's house. So you tell me about the home team.
Well, the home team is going to be West Henderson Falcons. They are 7-0.
Okay.
3-0 in the conference. They're coming out of Hendersonville, North Carolina. And they've beaten teams like Newton, Conover, 54-22, Hendersonville, 44-0, Polk County, 48-0, Irwin, 40-10, North Henderson, 55-16, East Henderson, 55-0. And last week they beat Smoky Mountain, 28-13. This team is loaded. They got a dual threat quarterback situation going on up there with they got Judd. He's a senior. He's thrown for 513 yards. And then you got Chad Young. He's thrown for 400 some yards so far for the season. They got a great running back in number 23, Carson Dimsdale. Right now, Carson is at 979 yards rushing
Wow.
for the year. He's averaging about 8 yards a carry. And the thing is, last year, played in 13 games, his total rushing yards was roughly around about 1,100.
Okay.
So he's already in 6 games almost at 1,000.
He's on track.
He's on
Break
track.
that.
He's on track. So Carson is definitely number 23 they need to look out for. They got a wide receiver, Emmanuel, number 12. He's got over close to 600 yards receiving. So this team's offensive-wise is stacked. And the biggest thing I looked when I was watching film on them was, again, their offensive line.
That's it.
It's just something about in that area, that is where they start. It's that
bread
offensive
and butter.
defensive line. And what I saw is when the ball is snapped, those guys come off that ball and drive you in the ground and keep going. And that is the biggest key. And the thing with the running back to Carson, it was just like we talked about last week with Randall King. When he catches the ball, he doesn't just catch and drop and hit the ground. He going to run for more yards.
That's right.
This is the same thing with Carson. When he gets tackled, he ain't going there.
He want more yards.
He wants more yards. And it's hard to bring him down. So that is the biggest thing I saw from West Henderson, is that running game. And then, of course, on defense, you got Mann, Castro, and Osman as far as total tackles for the team, playing good defense,
Right.
keeping the score low for your offense to get back out on the field and make plays. So I got to pick on this game,
Okay.
but we got to wait.
We got to wait. I got to pick on this game. And if you're in that area, this may be one you want to get to because we just said you got two good offensive lines that block for that quarterback that throw time, that throw the ball, and open up holes for those running backs. So it sounds like to me, Daryl, this is going to be an old school Western Carolina football game.
Yeah, that's definitely what this is going to be.
Well, Daryl, we got another game right over here in our backyard.
All right.
About 15 minutes from where we had over here at Firebird Stadium. You got the 1-6, 0-3 Roanoke Rapid Yellow Jackets on the road.
On the road.
Heading down to Griffon Stadium to play the 1-4, 1-1 Rocky Mount Griffon.
Yeah.
I got the road team this week. I'm traveling.
Right.
So let me tell you about this road team, Roanoke Rapids. Only win comes off a forfeit this season with that Northampton game, first game of the season.
Yep.
Found out Northampton had an ineligible player, so they gave them the win. But I'm going to go ahead and poll the Yellow Jackets right now. I'm polling them. I'm talking to Roanoke Rapids, nobody else. And the fans of Roanoke Rapids. You don't want that win.
No.
It goes in a W in your column.
Right.
But you want that win that you get out there on the gridiron on the field that we're sitting on right now. That's a win they want. Because that's why we play Friday night. 4 wins, some teams lose, but you want it there. But if you look at this Roanoke Rapids team, I want people to understand, even if they were 1-6 or 0-6 right now, or 0-7, how it would be if they counted the Northampton game, don't let the record fool you.
Yeah.
They have played some good teams on Friday night. Vance County, 3A, 52-14. We just said the ground player of the year. Yeah. Ground player of the year right now. Is run the quarterback from Vance County, 52-14. Then they played a Pine Lake Prep team, and they're 5-1. They lost 46-4, but they're 7-0 right now. Then they played Farmville Central, that's 6-1, lost 50-0. Then they played a good Franklin team, that is the Franklin County Grit and Grind champs. 3-4, they lost 22-14. Then they played the Birds last week for homecoming at Southern Dash and lost 55-8. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. Then they went and hosted a game in Roanoke Rapids, the Knights. 6-0, 44-0, and we've been talking about this Knights team all season. We ain't got to go more in detail. The Knights know, everybody know what the Knights are this year. They're the truth right now.
That's it. We know who they are.
There you go.
There you go.
So they have played good teams, Daryl, but I look at this Roanoke Rapids team, and I looked at the highlights from the Northern Nash game. And, of course, they had more highlights and more footage on Northern Nash because they put up more points and this team wasn't able. But I saw one guy, and I saw the whole team first. You know what they were doing?
What's that?
They were playing with effort. Even when they were losing, you had kids trying to get to the ball.
And that's what you want to be able to do.
That's how you start returning a program around. To get back to where you were. Because a couple years ago, this team was one win out from being in the playoffs. 3 years, matter of fact, not a couple, 3 years ago.
3 years ago,
and we want to be exact. But they got a good defensive end, Gabriel Roberts, who was getting in the backfield. Just those Northern National linemen will be able to stop him. So if he got in the backfield to try to get the Mitchell or get the one of those running backs, they were able to pick up somebody, pick that block up to stop him. So you got Gabriel Roberts, a good DN. And I mean, they rushed for 46 yards and passed for 7 passing yards. A total of 53 yards last week against the Knights. A good Northern Nash team. Can we remind them that is the current Dash County Grit and Grind champions and the run up to the state championship.
Yeah.
You know, we like to remind people that. So when you go play Northern National, you don't win or you don't get a good score, just remember the accolades they have built to get to where they're at.
Right.
But this is a good defense, and my key for them this week is your Roanoke Rapids playing Rocky Mountain. Go in this game Friday night and say, we're going to get more first downs. We're going to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Even if we don't win this game, we're going to get in the end zone one time.
And that's it. You want those small victories.
And that's what we talk
that's
about.
What you want. Yep.
That's what I say is, I think the defense, I mean, I'm going to just say like Notre Dame right now. And I got to use them because I saw them yesterday. I'm going to tell the Roanoke Rapids Yellow Jackets defense to go out there Friday night and play like champions.
That's it.
Leave it on the field and see what happens at the end of this game.
That's all.
Don't make no mistakes and do your job and play your best game. Darryl, tell me about the home team.
All right, so the home team, Rocky Mountain Griffons, they coming off a loss against Nash Central.
Okay.
They, we talked about this earlier in the show. They lost 28-10. Record is 1-4, 1-1 in the conference right now. And again, I'm gonna say that word again: opportunity, missed opportunities. Rocky Mount had several opportunities last week against Nash Central to win that game.
They did.
And if you're Rocky Mount, you can build upon that to know that, okay, we hung with them for a half and we made some mistakes. For Rocky Mount, it starts again with the key player, Silver, special teams.
That's it.
This kid, Isaiah Silver, is making plays on special teams, getting the ball in good positions for their offense. And you got the running back with Mitchell, you got Harold, you got Parker, Lee Jones on defense.
Okay.
You get all those guys tuned in to play a complete game because that's the only thing Rocky Mount is missing, that complete game. Now, when they played Bun, a great game for them. A complete game.
That was a complete game.
It was a complete game.
And they won on all sides of the ball.
Right, and they won on all sides. So if you're Rocky Mount, last week was missed opportunity. This week, new opportunity. That's the word we're going to use this
I like
week.
that.
It's new opportunity. So Rocky Mount, you have a chance to play a Roanoke Rapids team at home and go 2-1 in the conference and still be in the mix.
And still be in that bubble.
Still be in that bubble. And the key things for Rocky Mount to win is run the ball. Once Silver gets you in good field position, run the ball. That's it. Run the ball. Give the ball to Mitchell and make plays and hold your box. Special teams. They got Isaiah Silvers, and then you got the kicker.
Okay.
The punter, Bucker.
Field position.
Field position. So special teams is the biggest thing that Rocky Mount has right now. And field position is going to be very important in this game. And then make plays.
That's it.
You want to make plays, and then on defense, just play hard.
That's it.
Play hard. There's an opportunity here. New opportunity.
That's it.
For Rocky Mount this week.
A big new opportunity.
A big new opportunity. And to turn things around in the conference for Rocky Mount if they can get this win. So we got our picks.
I got one locked in.
But we got to wait for the 5-minute quick pick on that.
Well, Darryl, that leads us now to the
prime time.
Grit and grind.
Grit and grind, excuse me. Grit and grind.
Game of the week.
Here we go.
You got a good game right here, and I believe, let's count, this is, for one team, round three.
Woo.
Well, hold on. I got to say it.
Go ahead and say it.
Round three, and what you like to say, their campaign.
On their campaign trail for that Grit and grind Nash County champ.
Round three, you got the 6-1, 2-1 Bulldogs of Nash Central leaving the dog pound. Leaving the dog pound this week.
Woo. And where they going?
5-minute trip.
Where they going?
To Death Valley.
Death Valley.
They play the 6-0, 2-0 Knights of Northern Nash. And I want people to know right now the Bulldogs are 1-1 for that Grit and Grind Nash County Championship. Yeah. Northern Nash, of course, is 0-0 because they haven't played nobody yet in the conference.
Yeah.
Well, in the county conference of our little county conference for this Grit and Grind Nash County Championship. But I do want to say one thing about Northern Nash. They are still reigning and defending Grit and Grind Nash County champ. Well, Darryl, You got the road team this week, I believe, don't you?
Yeah, I got the road team. So just like you said, Nash Central Bulldogs is coming to this game 6-1. The only loss was against Southern Nash a couple weeks ago at home. They're 2-1 in the conference. They beat a Rocky Mount team last week. Like I said, they made those halftime adjustments because they was actually down 10-7 in the first half, but then they came back with Harrison running a 51-yard TD, and then James Rogers getting a TD as well. So this is the biggest test for this Nash Central team to date. This right here, this game.
Is this the final exam?
This the final exam. This is it.
This is it.
This is the toughest test for Nash Central because, like you said, you got to go to Death Valley and play a good, I might even say great, Northern Nash team right here. This team is, I looked at the film of Northern Nash playing Roanoke Rapids, and I just shook my head because I don't know, do you stop the run? So you stop the run, then you got the pass. You got Battle, you got Randall King catching passes. So you got that. You got Pitts throwing the ball for Northern Nash.
He's throwing it.
It's a lot. So my keys, if I'm Nash Central, first thing, I'm going to try to stop the run. Stop Mitchell.
Make him play Nash Central football.
Be up front. If you can make contact up front, on that front line, put pressure up front, and stop the run, control the outside because for Northern Nash, they love to hit the outside.
That's their game plan.
And if you can stop that and control it, that's the biggest thing. Control the outside. Secondly, pressure on the quarterback.
That's it.
You cannot let Pitt sit back there in the pocket and throw the ball all over the field to Battle, to King, and stuff like that. You got to bring some design blitz. You got to bring up the corners. You got to bring linebackers in. You just cannot let him sit back there. You got to put pressure on him to make him scramble a little bit to get out of that pocket. And then have a man that just spies just on him.
That's it.
Just to see where he's going and just be there just for him, just to control him, basically, from hitting the outside. Thirdly, tackles after the catch. You got to make those tackles. If Randall King is getting a pass, you know he's not going to be easily to go down. So you got to know everybody's got to be there to make that tackle. Because if you don't, he's going to get that touchdown.
Every time.
And you got to make tackles. You got to play sound football and just be smart on defense. And then as far as the offense, just do what you've been doing. Running the ball, mixing it up with Harrison, with Rogers, and mixing that up. And then you got to have Lee have a good game.
That's it.
Lee's going to have a good game. And it doesn't have to be a great game. It's just got to be a good game to where you control.
Game manager.
To where when it's 3rd and 2, that y'all can get that first down.
And keep
the drive going and keep it. And the biggest thing is keeping the ball out of Northern Nash's side of the hand to where it's not no 3 and outs. That's the biggest thing. If you can just, choke on down the field without the 3 and outs, you give yourself a chance. But Shawn, tell me about Northern Nash.
Northern Nash 6-0, 2-0. And I mean, you always say they on the campaign trail, the Bulldogs. Well, I'm gonna tell you about the Northern Nash campaign trail. If I get it out. Statement games. Beat Hunt week 1 in Warrior Stadium.
Yeah.
Statement game. Beat Fight. Went to Jakes Rose. Beat a good Jakes Rose.
Yeah,
team.
they did.
Went to D.H. Conley. Down at halftime, but Daryl, we said every week about this team.
The best halftime adjustment.
Best halftime adjustment team. We have seen it live in living color at a Northern Nash game where they have been down and they just come out and play a better second half than your team. Beat Bun. I mean, you did exactly no knock on Bun.
Yeah.
Great team, young team, learning, growing pains for Bun.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Bun and beat Bun how you supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not letting them even think that they had a chance to be in this game. Same thing with Roanoke Rapids. No knock on the Yellow Jackets. Good team, young team. Growing pains like Bun.
Yeah.
Beat Roanoke Rapids last week in Roanoke Rapids and made their fan base feel like they did not have an opportunity in this game. And we said opportunity about Rocky Mount.
Right.
I'm going to talk about opportunity with Northern Nash or why they don't need to give a Nash Central team any type of hope in this game.
Right.
First of all, Northern Nash has scored 280 points in the past 6 games. They only allow 57 points. Now, I'm not no mathematician, but like I said last week, if you're doing less than and greater than, come on, math teachers. I think the sign would go this way, right? If I'm wrong, please drop in the comment about to make sure that my math is correct. But I believe the sign go this way, that it's facing that Northern Nash is winning on that side of the ball. The closest game they had was J.H. Rose, 34-20. In J.H. Rose, in Rampart Stadium. I've been to Rampart Stadium. Hard place to play it. Northern Nash was able to get a win. Northern Nash, we call these names out. 2 of them being ground players of the week. DeJuan Mitchell, Elijah Pitts, the quarterback. Jaquil Arrington, Trey Battle, Randall King. Team effort on defense, locking people down, doing your job, staying at home. I thought that this defense this year would be a good defense, but not the defense of last year. But I look at last year's defense, I look at this year's defense, and I know they lost a couple seasons, but I don't see no difference.
I don't see no difference.
Look like the same team still playing to me.
Yeah.
This is a home game for Northern Nash. You're hosting Nash Central, but I'm going to say this to the Knights. You want to make these Bulldogs of Nash Central go 3 and out. You want to control the game. You want to manage the clock. You want to put up points. And you don't want to give this Nash Central team any type of hope. Because just like I said with the Southern Nash game when Nash Central played, if Nash Central goes in at halftime, because I'm going to tell you about what Nash Central game plan going to be. Like you said, they going to blitz and they going to hit you. They're gonna try to beat you the old school way. We going to hit you. We going to tackle you. When you catch the ball, you going to know you played the Bulldogs that night.
That's it.
That's their motto. And I believe for this game, we can use the old school motto from last year. Lunch pail, hard hat.
That's it.
That's what they're going to bring to this game. If you're Northern Nash, you don't want to get caught where this is a 10-7 game. 14-7, 7-3, 21-14. You don't want to be in a bubble where it's a 3.7-point game difference and either Nash Central is up or Nash Central down. Because if they're up, they going into halftime and say, we getting ready to crank it up even more down. And if they're down, they going to say, we going to come out here and we going to stick to the game plan. We're going to run the ball. If you're Northern Nash, get the game up. Take Nash Central out the game because they're going to travel. It's only 5 minutes. This is the battle of the bridge. It's only a 5-minute difference between both schools. Both schools are going to travel big. I got to pick on this game, Daryl.
All right.
I'm not. I got to pick, but I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. I'm going to put it out there. I don't know who to pick right now. I don't know.
It's a tough pick.
It's a tough pick.
It's a tough pick. Well, with that said, Shawn, let's go head on into the favorite part of the show.
What is it, Daryl?
The 5-minute quick pick.
As always, Daryl, let's jump over to 8-man football right here. 4-2 Rocky Mountain Academy versus the 0-4 Liberty Christian Academy.
Rocky Mountain Academy, I'm sticking with them.
What's my favorite saying for Rocky Mountain Academy? They play football at the academy at Rocky Mountain. Eagles on the win. 4-1 Faith Christian versus 6-1 Wayne Christian, which is the grit and grind 8-man game of the week.
I'm going Faith Christian on this one. I'm going to go Faith Christian.
I think Faith Christian gets upset right now. Big game over in Woods County 8-man football before we jump over to East Wake. 2-1 Howard. Versus 3-3 CCS.
Woo. 2-1 Howard
was able to get their first ever win of the season.
The first game.
First game in program history. Over their rival, the Cyclones of CCS at Cyclone Stadium. I think this game now will be played. Howard doesn't have a stadium, so I don't know if they're going back to CCS, or I think Howard has worked out a deal where they play at a middle school in Woods County, so I don't know how we'll host this game, but this is a big game.
I'm going Howard.
I'm
sticking with Howard.
I'm sticking with Howard. I think the Eagles of Howard will get a win. East Wake area, Daryl. You got the Warriors of East Wake got a big win over West Johnson.
Big win. We both had West Johnson winning that game. And East Wake said, hold on, my friend. Wait, hold up a minute. And they took care of business.
Pump the brakes.
They
took care of business.
They took care of business.
Can I make an announcement?
Go ahead.
East Wake Warriors, we want to come see you. Do the logistics. East Wake versus Hunt.
Woo!
Here we go.
Hunt's on that campaign, too.
They on that campaign. And last week, we would have ratted off Hunt right now. We wouldn't be going no further. But this East Wake team has won some good games now.
Won some good
and
games.
They turned their season around.
They turned it around. but I don't think it's enough to beat Hunt. I'm going Hunt.
I'm going Hunt. I don't think it's enough to beat Hunt, but they got a big win to hang their hat on last week. Nightdale versus Heritage. Big game.
I'm going Heritage.
Going Heritage.
Yeah.
Roseville, 5-1 versus Millbrook. Big game. Two big schools up there in that East Wake area. Well, Millbrook in the central Raleigh area, but Roseville, East Wake.
I'm going to go Roseville.
I'm going to take Roseville Rams again.
Yeah.
5-1 Wake Forest versus Wakefield.
I'm going Wake Forest.
Got to go Coach Fred to Wake
Yeah.
Forest. Corn Holders versus Fuquay Marina.
Woo! I'm
Going out of
Fuquay.
Fuquay.
I'm going Fuquay.
Got to go
They got a
Fuquay.
kid coming to UNC. I'm going Fuquay on that.
Fuquay looking good too.
Yeah.
Warren, Vance, Northampton, Halifax, Granville, and Oxford picks right here. I'm going to start with Warren County.
All right.
Eagles of Warren County versus Rocky Mount Prep.
I'm going Warren County.
Going Warren County.
Yeah. Sticking with Warren County.
Let's jump over to Granville, but we're going to say one game last.
All right.
Granville Central versus Cabarro. Granville Central had that bad loss against Vance County last week.
I think they bounced back.
They bounced back?
I'm going Granville.
I'm going to go Cabarro.
You going
I'm going
okay.
Cabarro.
Okay.
JF Well has a bye this week. Northwest Halifax versus Weldon. Weldon, bad loss against Wilson Prep Academy, the Tigers.
Give me Northwest Halifax.
Northwest Halifax gets their first win.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going Northwest Halifax. On
Chargers of Weldon bounce back this week, get a good win. Maybe too late, but still got a few more games to play.
Yeah.
Maybe they win this game, they can start working towards getting to that bubble seat. Southeast Halifax versus North Edgecombe. Good game in 1A football. Southeast Halifax, they got a date with Destiny against the Tigers of Wilson Prep.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Warriors of North Edgecombe. I know you're booing me right now. I got to go Southeast Halifax because we want to be at that game for the conference championship.
Yeah. Southeast Halifax.
Vance County versus South Granville. The grind player.
Grind player.
Hell from Vance County.
Is he still throwing touchdowns? I mean,
He playing football this week. He's
it's 10 already. I'm going Vance County.
Got to go Vance County on this one. Edgecombe County, Daryl. Southwest Edgecombe has a bye this week, but they
Okay.
moved up in the polls. They cracked the top 15.
All right.
They are ranked 13 or 14 in the 252 area poll.
All right now.
Cougar Town, USA.
All right.
You get a break this week, but we shouting you out. SWE. Tarboro versus Perquimans.
Oh, Tarboro.
Tarboro. Let's go to the watch out game of the week, but we start jumping to some games right here in our backyard.
All right.
3-4, 2-1, JH Rose. 2 versus 2-4, 1-1, DH County. Big game in Greenville down there in Pitt County. Two big rival schools.
I'm going JH, bro.
I got to go Rose on
Yeah,
that.
I'm going
Ramparts
Rose.
get a win. Let's jump over to Wilson Franklin, and we're going our backyard. Vanderbilt coming off another win
Yeah.
versus North Johnson. Big game right here between two good rival schools.
I
Counties.
think Bedford keeps it going. I'm going Bedford.
We saw Bedford start getting that momentum when
Yeah.
they got a conference play. I'm sticking Bedford. Fight versus CB Aycott. Aycott got a win last week.
Yeah, they got a win last week.
Fight got a win last week.
I'm gonna
Fight got a big win.
I'm going to go fight. I'm going to go fight.
Wilson County beats Aycott.
Yeah, I'm going
Both
to
teams
fight
in
on
Wilson
that.
County beat Aycott.
Yep.
Final answer.
Final answer. I'm going to fight.
I'm sticking with air raid offense. Come on, go to Falcons.
All
Let's
right.
go, fight. Let's go. Oh, CB Aycott. WPA versus our favorite school with the favorite name, Kilt Pride.
I'm going to go Kent Pride because, I like the name. But I know they're going through some. They're a young team.
They're a young team
They're
this
a
year.
young
They're a
team
young
this year.
team.
And
And this is a
they're getting
team
growing
about 2-3
pains.
years ago was a great team.
Right. So I'm sticking with Kent Pride.
On
but,
the upset.
On the upset. Yep. I'm going Kent Pride.
The Kilt Pride wins this game. That knocks WPA out of playing for that conference championship against Southeast Halifax.
Yep.
Hey, you know what I say it every week. You don't know what it stands for. Wilson Prep Academy. Tigers get a win.
All right.
Franklin and Nash, before we do our games of the week. Bun versus Southern Nash. Old rivalry between two neighboring schools.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big rivalry back in the day.
Big rival back in the day. I just think Southern Nash just got too much firepower for them. I mean, you got Mitchell, you got Lou Faulkner, you got Nix. It's just too much. I'm going Southern Nash on that.
I'm taking Southern Nash to win the Sweet Potato Bowl. Old Firebird fans, see if you remember that back in the days. You remember that?
I remember that.
The Sweet Potato Bowl. Southern Nash gets a win. Franklinton has a bye this win. The Grit and Grind Franklin County champs get a bye this week. They'll be back next week in action. Lewisburg over there in Franklin County versus Southern Durham.
Lewisburg got a win.
Oh, Lewisburg got a good win.
Yeah, they got
They
a
beat
good
J.F.
win.
Webb.
J.F. Webb.
I didn't see that one coming.
But, shout out to Lewisburg.
JR.
To the team. I mean,
I'm
they
going to tell
got
you one thing about Coach Dante and Lewisburg over there.
Yeah.
They find a way this time of the year to start rallying up
Yep.
and collecting some good wins.
It's just every year that he does that, he's able to do that. So.
That's what he does. And I think this year they are eligible, not for sure, I haven't checked the guidelines, but I think they're eligible for playoff play. So if they keep tallying up these wins, they could get a backdoor seed into the playoffs.
They
It could be
could.
a scary team going on the road.
All right, but I'm going Lewisburg in this one.
You going Lewisburg on Southern?
Yep, going Lewisburg.
Give me Coach Dante. I'm going Lewisburg Warriors. Western game before we do our games of the week. Mount Airy versus South Stokes. Do we need to talk about it, Daryl, or do we just make a pick? Mount Airy.
I'm going Mount Airy. I keep it simple. I know what they got.
I know what they got.
I know what they got going on.
They loaded and reloaded and reloaded and reloaded. They making their campaign to get back to Raleigh State to defend that state championship. Grit and grind games of the week right here, Daryl. Let's start with that West game.
Okay.
7-0 West Henderson versus 6-0 Pigson. If I said it wrong, please forgive me.
This is going to be a tough game. It's just going to be just like the Northern Nash Central game for us.
Tough game.
It's a tough game to call because you got two good teams.
And two good offensive lines.
I think the X factor is going to be the running game for West Henderson and with Carson, number 23. I mean, he's averaging 8 yards per carry.
That's good.
And he's one of those running backs, just like we talked about Mitchell for Northern Nash, that is hard to bring down.
Keep the chains moving.
I mean, he takes the contact and keeps going. And I think that's going to be the X factor late in the fourth quarter, the running game. So I'm going to go West Henderson Falcons on this one.
I watched both teams, and I watched footage on them. I saw what you saw West Henderson, but something about this Pigsford team, Daryl, they got a good throwing game, and it goes back. Both teams got a good offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the battle of which defensive line can get through that offensive line and get to that quarterback. Yeah. I'm taking Pigsford in this game. I like Pigsford. Something about that deep pass that I don't think West Henderson's going to be able to double team that corner, because then you're going to need the other receiver, that tight end over. Give me Pigsford on my pick. All right. Rocky Mount, one of the Greek and grind games of the week. Yep. Rocky Mount 1-4. Hosting the Yellow Jackets 1-6 in Griffon Stadium.
All right, so again, missed opportunities, new opportunities. This is new opportunities for Rocky Mount to turn things around, to get a win, be 2-1 in the conference. I think special teams is going to be the biggest part in this game for Rocky Mount to win. And I think if Rocky Mount can put a full game together, and not just a half, but a full game, they can come out with a victory. So I'm going to go Rocky Mount in this game.
I think the Yellow Jackets are coming off a bad win last week against the Northern Dash, a great Northern Dash team, as we stated earlier. But I think, like you said, missed opportunities. What is it this week? New opportunities. I think Rocky Mountain needs this one more than Roanoke Rapids, because they want to get at least a good tally win on that conference side, so that they can be on that bubble seat at the end of the season. I'll take Griffon.
All right.
And Roanoke Rapids going in a hard place to play. That's a tough stadium.
That's a tough stadium.
Prime time.
Game of the week. Grit and Grinds. Prime time game of the week.
Round 3. 6-1. 2-1. 1-1. Nash Central Bulldogs. Leaving the dog pound.
Going to Death Valley.
They played the 6-0, 2-0, 0-0, reigning and defending Grit and Grind Nash County champs. And if you don't know, this is the battle of the bridge for the Sludge Hammer.
Yeah.
Put the cards down there. Here they go.
Oh, you put the cards down?
Put the cards
down. You did that last time.
Put the cards down.
Actually, the last time we was here at Southern Nash, you put the cards down.
I'm putting the cards down. The cards are down.
The cards are down because this is a tough pick for both of us.
It's a tough pick.
Because you got a great team in Northern Nash, and they are playing on all cylinders.
Definitely on all cylinders. But you got a Bulldogs team.
It's got some heart, and that has gone on the road, beat a good Franklinton team.
They did.
And then went and beat a good Rocky Mount team at home.
And we have seen this team last year come to right here where we're sitting and get an upset win.
Yeah. Woo. This is a tough pick.
This is a tough team. This is a tough game to call.
This is a tough pick.
I'll run out of time, Mr. Producer. Do we got to make a pick? Yeah. He's shaking his head.
He's shaking his head. We got to make a pick.
We got to make a pick.
Okay. All right.
Darren, I'm throwing to you.
All right. Woo. I think I'm going to go back to what you said earlier. If Nash Central can keep the game close,
That's it.
keep it where it's 14-7, 10-7 in that area, there's an opportunity for them to come out with a W. But it would have to be where Northern Nash helps them out, in a sense.
That's
where
it.
Northern Nash makes mistakes on their end.
Penalties,
Fumble the ball,
missed
penalties, missed opportunities, stuff like that. To keep Nash Central in the game. But Northern Nash has not shown that this year, though.
They have not
That's
showed
the
in no
thing.
game.
They are so focused.
And I went back and have watched almost every game of Northern Nash. And even in that game, they didn't even have no missed opportunities. They just had a D.H. Conley that came out at home and played a better first half.
That's the only thing. All right, they want us to make a pick.
We got to make a pick.
All right, so I'm going to go Northern Nash. I think Northern Nash is going to take care of business. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough game. Nash Central is going to play good on defense. I think that offense, if they can start rolling like they did in that first quarter against Southern Nash and keep that going throughout the game, it'll keep it in. But I just think Northern Nash just has too much firepower on both sides of the ball. And then that running game and those two wide receivers with Battle and King, it's like pick your poison. And it's hard. If you stop the run, then you got these two wide receivers that's going to be down the field, loaded. So it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to go Northern Nash on this.
I want to make a pick.
All right. Uh-oh, he's standing up. Last time you did this. What you got?
Give me the Knights. Give me the Knights. Sorry, Nash Central. I'm so sorry. Northern Nash team right now, they just focused, Daryl. And you said it best. I don't got to recap it. We have not seen them make a mistake yet.
Yeah.
And, I mean, this could be a trap game for Northern Nash.
It could be.
Because you're playing a good Nash Central team. But I think Northern Nash right now is just playing sound mind, excellent football. Good game. I think if you want to see some good action, you're going to see it between both schools. But I think Northern Nash gets the win right here. Well, Daryl, as always, I want to thank everybody for watching the Grit and Grind Sports Show podcast on Studio 67 NCC and on Channel 19. And as always, Daryl, do you have the grit?
And do you have the grind?
And we'll see you next week better than ever on the Grit and Grind Sports Show podcast.
Thank you, Southern Nash.